November 10, 1943, 08:15, Kharkov-Borisovka village, eastern Ukraine. A thin fog crept over the land, soaked in the smell of damp earth, scorched hay, and charred wood. On the outskirts of a forsaken Ukrainian village, among the ruins of an old farmhouse, stood a lone concrete bunker, the last outpost of German defense in this ravaged region. Behind a pile of rubble, in a shallow ditch, someone in camouflage netting and helmet raised his binoculars to his eyes. He was no officer, no commander, no hero from the movies. He was just a farmer from Bavaria, whose name, Friedrich Clausen, would soon become legend, then a subject of controversy, fear, and respect. Born in the quiet of Bavaria. March 23, 1912, Gossfeld, Bavaria, a small village nestled on a hillside where vineyards grew, cows grazed, and people lived by tradition. Friedrich's parents, Josef and Anna Clausen, were simple farmers. They had 5 children, and as the eldest, Friedrich was expected to help his father in the fields, tend to the animals, and prepare feed. But what he loved most was shooting, not for killing, but for precision, concentration, silence. His father, Josef, was an experienced hunter. He gave his son an old Mauser rifle when Friedrich turned 12. Shoot only if you must. Never shoot for pleasure, he said. Friedrich listened. He learned to observe how a hair moved, how a bird breathed, how the wind shifted. He became a master of patience. In school, he was quiet, reserved. His teacher, Miss Mueller, noticed his unusual attentiveness. "You see things others don't," she said once. Friedrich didn't reply. He just nodded. In summer, he often sat on the roof of the house, watching clouds, birds, and the fields. He dreamed of living in peace, being part of nature, not its enemy. His mother Anna baked pies, told stories, read him books. She said, "Happiness is when you feel at home, and home isn't walls, it's your heart." Friedrich believed her. He dreamed of a future, with his own home, his own farm, his own children. He never thought about war. He never thought about death. But war came to peaceful life. September 1st, 1939, Gossfeld. On the day Germany invaded Poland, Friedrich stood by his house, staring at the sky. He knew war wasn't abstract. It was loss, pain, destruction. But he couldn't refuse. Like many, he believed it was defending the fatherland. He was drafted into the Wehrmacht in October 1939. He was sent to the 16th Army Corps, then to the 11th Panzer Division. June 23, 1941, Lviv, western Ukraine. His first real battle. Friedrich was in an infantry squad. They charged forward, and suddenly, machine gun fire. He fell, a bullet striking his thigh. He didn't feel pain at first, only cold. He lay on the ground, hearing screams, laughter, moans. Then silence. He was evacuated to a hospital. In the hospital, he spent 3 months. There he began to think about life, about death, about why he was there. He remembered his farm, his mother baking pies, his father telling stories of ancestors. He didn't want to be a soldier. He wanted to be a farmer. But in June 1941, when he recovered, he was sent to a special sniper training school. Sniper School, birth of the Ghost. September 18, 1941, Königsberg, Prussia. The school was in an old barracks building. Training included shooting from kneeling, lying down in rain, fog, and darkness. Instructors were former snipers who'd fought in World War I. They were harsh. One day, Captain von Stein said, "You will kill people, not animals. People, with families, dreams, children. You must be cold as steel. If you feel anything, you're already dead." Friedrich didn't speak. He just listened. He learned to analyze targets. He learned that a soldier constantly looking around is a sniper, one who speaks loudly, a commander, one who walks slowly, wounded. He mastered camouflage, using soil, grass, shadows. He could sit in one position for 12 hours, motionless, breathless, waiting for his target. He set a record, 12 hits out of 12 shots at moving targets from 600 meters. Instructors watched him with unease. This man is dangerous. He doesn't fear. He's a machine.
First battles, winter 1942. January 2, 1942, Rostov-on-Don, southern Russia. Friedrich received his first combat order. He was assigned to the 24th Infantry Regiment, 17th Army. His mission? Eliminate Soviet commanders and snipers on the front lines. The first night was brutal. Temperature, -25 degrees centigrade. He sat in a snow pit, wearing leather gloves, with his Kar 98K rifle fitted with a ZF-4 optical scope. After 2 hours, he spotted a group of 5 soldiers walking along the road. One held the map, clearly a commander. He fired, hit the shoulder. The man fell, but not immediately. Others scattered. Friedrich quickly moved. Second shot to the head. Third to another soldier's leg. He killed 3, wounded 2. This was his first combat success. He didn't celebrate. He simply wrote in his notebook, Jan 2, 42, 3 killed, 2 wounded. Target, commander. February 10th, 1942, Stalingrad, Volga region. He took part in the defense. Soviet snipers were active. He eliminated 3 in one night. He began to feel like part of the landscape. He didn't think about death. He thought about precision, about the perfect shot. The legend begins. Spring 1943. April 15th, 1943. Stepanovka, Donbass. Friedrich was transferred to the 10th Division Grenadiers, defending vital railway lines. Here he began his true work. He chose a position atop a hill, behind the ruins of an old sugar factory. Around him, steppe, fields, forests, perfect for a sniper. His method was simple: observation, analysis, shot, disappearance. He never fired without purpose, never acted in panic. He worked like clockwork. In the first week, he killed 28 men, including 2 officers. Soviet soldiers began whispering, "There's a ghost on the hill. You can't see him, but he shoots." May 23rd, 1943, Krasno village near Kharkov. Friedrich set an ambush on a retreating Soviet unit. He saw several soldiers carrying a wounded officer on stretchers. He decided, kill the officer to paralyze the group. Shot to the head. The officer fell. Carriers hesitated. Second shot to one carrier. Third to another. Then he vanished. That day he killed 7. June 12, 1943. Kursk salient, Prohorovka area. Friedrich took part in a major battle. He was part of a small elimination team. 4 snipers working behind enemy lines, destroying artillerymen, communications, supply lines. That day he killed 17 men, including a battery commander. After the battle, he wrote in his diary, "I don't feel joy. I feel cold, as if I've become part of the earth. I'm not a man, I'm a tool. Peak performance, summer 1943. August 1st, 1943. Vyazovka village, Belgorod Oblast. Friedrich reached his peak. In 24 hours, he killed 32 men, all at distances from 300 to 800 meters. He used sounds, footsteps, voices, movement as signals. He even learned to identify by gait who was a commander, who was sniper, who a medic. August 15th, 1943. Oriel Oblast, forests near the Oskol River. He ambushed a patrol. First, he noticed one soldier constantly looking back, clearly a sniper. He waited until he stepped out, then fired. Hit the eye. The sniper fell. Then he killed 3 more who rushed to pursue. That day, he killed 14. September 30th, 1943. Kharkov, railway station district. Friedrich received a new mission: eliminate the commander of the 13th Rifle Corps. He spent 3 days observing, saw him step out to check communications. Shot to the heart, the commander fell. An hour later, a group of snipers arrived to find the killer, but they found nothing. Friedrich was already 10 kilometers away. Statistics and recognition. October 1st, 1943. Headquarters of the 17th Army, Voroshilovgrad, now Lugansk. Command gathered data on all snipers. Friedrich Clausen was number 1. In 100 days of combat from April 15th to July 14th, 1943, he eliminated 610 Soviet soldiers, including 47 officers, 12 snipers, 8 medics, and 3 battery commanders. Unprecedented. No one in Wehrmacht history had achieved such numbers. General von Reichenbach personally awarded him the Iron Cross II class and said, "You are a symbol of how a simple farmer can become a hero. You kill not for glory, but for victory." But Friedrich didn't boast. He said, "I killed people, people I didn't know. I can't be a hero. I'm a murderer."
Final days on the front. July 14th, 1943. Kharkov, Borisovka. His last day of active duty. He killed 12 soldiers, including a platoon commander trying to organize a counterattack. Then he received orders to retreat. That same day, his position was shelled. He lost a leg. A fragment hit his thigh. He was evacuated to a hospital. July 20th, 1943. Belgorod, Hospital Number 7. Friedrich lay in a ward. He was in shock. He didn't feel pain. He felt only emptiness. He didn't know what to do next. He was a sniper, now an invalid. After the war, silence and memory. 1945, Berlin, Sachsenhausen concentration camp. After surrender, Friedrich was arrested. He wasn't tried as a war criminal since he followed orders, but he was placed in camp as a soldier involved in mass killings. 1947, Gossfeld, Bavaria. He was released and returned home. His family didn't recognize him. He was thin, with white hair, a metal leg. He never spoke of the war again. He lived in silence, working on his farm as if nothing had happened. November 10th, 1958, Gossfeld. Friedrich Clausen died. He was 46. He died of a heart attack. On his grave, no inscription except Friedrich Clausen, 1912-1958. He was a farmer, he was a sniper, he was a man. For those who lived through war, or whose parents, grandparents, or great-grandparents did, This story stirs emotions. It reminds us that behind every number in documents, there is a person. Behind every statistic, a fate. Friedrich Clausen was not a bad man. He was a victim of time, system, circumstances. He followed orders. He didn't run. He didn't betray. He simply did what he was told. And in that lies his tragedy. This story is not about heroes. It's about people, about those forced to become what they never wanted to be, about those who lost themselves in war and never found their way back. Additional episodes. Mother's memories. My son was always quiet. He hated noise. He loved watching the sky. When he went to the army, I knew he wouldn't return the same, but I never imagined he'd become like that. I got a letter where he wrote, "I killed 3 today. I feel nothing. I'm just doing my job." I didn't reply. I couldn't. I just cried. Comrade's recollection. Clausen. He was strange. He never spoke, just sat, looking through his binoculars. We called him the Bavarian Ghost. He killed as if it were part of nature. But I saw him cry at night in the corner of the tent. He whispered, "I don't want this. I don't want to kill." But in the morning, he went back to his position.
Soviet Soldiers Interview, 1944. We heard there was a devil sniper on the hill. He kills everyone who walks the road. We can't see him. We can't hear him. We just die. I lost 3 friends. I don't know who he is, but I know he's there. And he's not human. He's a demon. Friedrich's last letter, 1943. Mother, I don't know what to write. I killed 17 today. I feel nothing. I just shoot. I don't want to be here. I want to be on the farm. I want to see your eyes. I want to be your son. But I can't. I'm a sniper. I'm a killer. Forgive me. Your son, Friedrich. Final words. In his later years, Friedrich rarely left the house. He sat by the window, watching the field where cows once grazed, silently remembering. Sometimes he spoke aloud. I didn't want to be a killer. I wanted to be a farmer. But war turns people into what they never were. His diary, found after his death, had only one word on the last page: forgive. And today, in the quiet of Gosfeld, beneath the hill where vines once grew, stands a small stone. No one knows who placed it, but every year, on November 10th, someone brings flowers. Not for a hero, not for a killer, for a man who lost himself in war and never found his way back. Friedrich Clausen, not a hero, not a villain, not a martyr. He was a man, made into a weapon by war. He killed 610 men, and each of them was a son, a brother.
a husband. Each had a story. This story reminds us that war is not abstraction. It is reality. It is pain. It is loss. It is a choice we never wish to make. For those who remember, who lost someone, who saw death, this story is a tribute, not to killers, but to people caught in a situation where kindness was impossible and strength was required. And let us remember, there is no victory if the price is a human soul.